I think we did get caught up in a few years of trying to sound, you know, New York went through that too, trying to sound like other places too much and everything, while Atlanta just being Atlanta.
Right.
Doing it up. Then Memphis started being Memphis and everything, you know what I'm saying? So it's like right now I feel like everybody got the confidence back, the artists at least, even the producers.
Yeah.
Wow, we good. It's good. All right, just here, we can do it. You know what I'm saying? All across this bitch though, not just LA. Go all the way out to the IE, San Diego, you know what I'm saying? To the Bay and shit. Like it can go crazy.
I think that's what the pop out, what it sparked most in the city was like unity. It brought that sense back to the West Coast, like, because we wasn't fucking with each other. Everybody was all separated, you know what I mean? But seeing everybody come together under one building, all performing together, and then now you're starting to see them all drop projects. They featured on each other's shit. Like, it brought unity back, and that's what we was missing. Like, it became to where everybody wanted to be the number one, so they wasn't working with each other.
So the Canadian unified LA.
Yeah.
You know, we have to slay the Canadian.
Y'all can see what y'all been doing, like for what y'all been doing and everything too, though. You just like look, this podcast and shit been making, bro. It's in the details.
Yeah.
Like, I've listened to the Blast album. I dropped some tears.
It was
to
amazing.
a couple of those songs. I ain't gonna lie to you for sure. But he put Better Living in there, and I know him. Like, shout out to Smack and everything. Blast be a fan of this shit too. But it's embedded, you know, because it's like some West Coast shit. When I'm listening to him, like, that's tight. It felt good to hear. But I don't know. I'm just looking at it like, I don't know, man. This shit is
Why you don't cry when I say Better Living?
I didn't cry when he said Better Living. I was just 2 songs though. The outro into the intro. That man, they dropped one. It was a passionate tear though.
You cried on the intro with 2 Chainz?
No, bro. You gotta listen to the outro.
That shit bad.
You gotta listen, Lo. You gotta listen to it in one though. You gotta listen to it in one.
Bro, it's a banger. Like,
no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't get it. Like, you gotta listen to it. You know what I mean?
God, dog.
10 summers are better. 10 summers are better than go into Paper Route. Then go into Paper Route. Yeah, that's what that was. I was driving here.
What's the last song that made you guys cry? Now we know yours.
That
was that Mars. I didn't cry, but I dropped a couple like. I was driving here.
You shed it to. Okay,
I went crazy.
It was
shout
emotional.
Out Blast,
it was
man,
shout out to Blast. It was emotional.
You never told me who was your favorite West Coast artist.
Of all time or just right now?
Well, just right now, currently. Like,
I do love Blast. I know that we were just talking about it. Schoolboy Q, and I know it looks like I'm being biased right now, but what I was thinking a couple weeks ago, and I posted a video that I feel like got a lot of love in LA, was the fact that, to your point, LA is doing a lot, but I think they don't get the credit for what they're doing, and they don't get put in the mainstream conversations. And like, you know, shout out to DJ Head, what he was telling me too is just the LA temperament is more so laid back, right? You're not gonna necessarily, that's why the pop out was so important, because you're not gonna necessarily pop out at any point just to big up your chest and be like, I'm this guy. It sometimes takes, which is why it's so important what you guys are doing and what the LA media scene is doing, because I think those two things mesh perfectly, right? We have a Q, we have a Vince, we have a Blast, people who drop top tier projects, maybe album of the year contenders, in my opinion. Schoolboy Q had album of the year, in my opinion. But I think it takes the media to be the people for those that aren't gonna necessarily speak on it. They're not gonna be, I dropped the best album of the year.
Right.
They're not going to necessarily be like, I'm the best rapper out right now. But that's why having media spaces to speak for them sometimes when they're not going to do it is important. And yes, there's going to be people, oh, you guys are just biased. You just love the West Coast. So what? You don't think New York has a bias? You don't think Canada has a bias?
Yeah, I stand on that.